We have to change who we are. We have to be the man that we were meant to be. And in order to do that, we have to do things that are uncommon that most men aren't willing to do. And that means learn. Anything that we're good at, anything. For all my guys out there who do jiu-jitsu, how often do you practice? How often do you go to the dojo and roll? You don't do jiu-jitsu just because you love it. You do jiu-jitsu and you practice it and you learn it. It's the same thing here. For all my guys who are out there, whether you have a blue-collar job or you got a white-collar job, guaranteed you were trained on how to do your job, and that's probably why you do it so darn well. You know, my question to you is, how much training have we had on attracting your wife back to you? Have you ever been laying next to your wife, like in bed, where it's dark and you're just like, you haven't touched her in probably what feels like maybe a year? It's probably been months, but you know, you haven't touched her in such a long time. And every time you make an advance, like maybe she brushes you away. Maybe it's been so long at this point, like it feels awkward. Maybe even at times, like you want to bring it up and talk about it, but that feels awkward too. It's almost like this sort of roommate syndrome just sort of slipped in to your marriage. And you're just like, wait a second, man, like we used to be crazy about each other. We used to like be hot for each other. Like we used to be all over each other. And now it's like we're friends. Like I feel like we're in the friend, like I'm in the friend zone. And if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. About 57% of married couples that stay together are either currently going through this, or they go through at least a season or maybe even a few years of it. This sometimes, though, this roommate syndrome that I've been talking about here a lot lately has been something that, it just infiltrates a lot of marriages, and it suddenly just feels like we don't have like the intimacy and the connection and even the love that we used to before. It's almost like this resentment has kind of set in, and it's almost like maybe even you feel a bit needy or desperate, or it's just like, my God, I just want some affection. I just want some love. And I feel like all she really does is nag me, or like every conversation we have is like about the kids or about the schedules or the bills or the roles or like the logistics. And man, I just want more than that. Gentlemen, welcome here. Welcome to the Dad Edge. I'm Larry Hagner. I'm your host and founder of this podcast, this show and movement. And I know for the past 3 weeks, I've been talking a lot about keeping our kids safe online. And to be honest, I think we've really tackled that really well. I've given you guys several different scenarios and several different things that have happened just in, for other parents out there, that are, we're just trying to protect our kids. If you missed the last 3 Wednesdays that I've done here, go back and listen to those, because, I talk about sextortion. I talk about swatting. I talk about like predators getting to our kids on Roblox, also through Minecraft, and just a lot of the advantages of like having a software like Bark that I've been using for the past 7 years. And we've had a lot of new users since I've been talking about this lately, really start to use that. So that's what the first 3 weeks have been like. And I want to switch gears just a little bit here. Today, I'm going to be doing a show on roommate syndrome. And next week, I'm going to be just doing a closing out of the year show. And I'm going to be making some announcements of some really cool things that we're going to be doing in 2026 next week on next week's podcast on New Year's Eve. But to be honest, I actually really thought about not doing a show on today, because today's Christmas Eve. And I'm sitting there thinking like, no one's really going to listen to the show on Christmas Eve. But, we have so many listeners out there, and we have for almost 11 years. We have hundreds of thousands of listeners, hundreds of thousands of downloads every single month. And I'm sitting here thinking like, I have never missed one show in the past 10 and a half years, not one. And I'm like, you know what, why would I start doing that now? So I'm doing this show, and I want to do this show to talk about this thing called roommate syndrome. And I've been married and one of the other reasons I'm talking about this, because I'm also going to be teaching a course on this live starting on January 14th. But I want to really talk about this topic because this is near and dear to my heart. This is the number one thing too. I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, obviously I'm in the dad space, but I mean, most of my one-on-one clients come to me for marriage help. That's really like, in my opinion, I think it's like one of the strongest things that I do, that we do in the Dad Edge ecosystem. And let me tell you why. I too I felt like a roommate with my wife. I've known my wife as of 2026. It's kind of crazy. My wife and I were just talking about this last night, but we will have known each other for 30 years come August of 2026. Here's the crazy thing. This is how this even got brought up. I think on the very day that we drop off my 17-year-old son to University of Arkansas on August 5th, 2026, I literally think that that is the 30-year anniversary of me and my wife actually meeting each other. I'm pretty sure that was the same day. But it's kind of crazy. I was talking to her. I was like, Jessica, I was like, can you believe? I was like, we've known each other for 30 years. Can you believe that on the day that I met you 30 years ago in college, that we would 30 years later be dropping our son off to college at University of Arkansas? It's kind of surreal when you think about how fast it goes. But yeah, I've known her for that long. I share that with you because we've been married for 22 years, and we fell into the exact same thing that I help guys with now. I think the number one thing that I help men with now, and that is like overcoming roommate syndrome. It's almost like we get married and then and things are great. And then we start having kids, and then we have another kid, and then we're like really busy in our jobs, and we're really busy with logistics and really busy with the kids' activities. And suddenly we're exhausted, we're tired, and we're not doing date nights anymore. We're not really creating intimacy in our marriages anymore. Suddenly it feels like a friendship in a way. And the way it also has been described to me, and I've felt this way too, is like, have you ever been like laying next to your wife, like late at night, and you're just like dying to touch her? And I'm not talking about like just because you want to have sex, but just because you're like, man, I just want to connect with this woman. We haven't had sex in so long. And when I do initiate, like she kind of usually rejects me, or she kind of pushes me away, or I feel like it's sort of like it's like she's having sex with me out of like obligation, like it feels transactional to me. Maybe it also feels like she's nagging you a lot. And here's the interesting thing. Usually when a woman is nagging a man, quote unquote nagging a man, what she's actually just trying to do is just get your attention. Where they usually are just wanting attention, and they want to be seen, they want to be heard. And sometimes, unfortunately, the way they go about it, because they're resentful, is they nag us, right? And then that usually falls flat with us too. We really don't like that. But, this whole thing of like sitting on the couch, watching Netflix, or Netflix is on and you're on either end of the couch and both of you are on your phones and you're not even interacting. And yet you want to create connection with her. But maybe when you start, maybe she's resistant to it. Or maybe when she starts with you, maybe you're resistant to it because maybe you don't understand it or don't see it, or maybe the way she's doing it. I know for me, one of the things that I always did is I always had like this quid pro quo about our marriage for a long time. Like and it kind of goes back to the covert contracts that Dr. Robert Glover talks about in his book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. I always thought, well, if I fulfill my wife's needs, then she will automatically know mine and she'll fulfill mine. And that's not true. And one of the things that I found myself doing was getting really resentful when I would do things like, or I would meet her needs, or at least I think that I was. Quite frankly, I really wasn't. I thought I was. I wasn't. And then she wouldn't fulfill mine, and then I'd get pissed. I'd get resentful. Or, she would get resentful because maybe I wasn't listening to her. Or maybe like when she was talking, I would just try to solve all of her problems and tamp down her emotions and stuff like that, which really doesn't make her feel seen or heard or anything like that. And then I found like our date nights would get awkward. Like we're only talking about the kids and we're only talking about logistics. And I'm like, man, like I want to talk about our relationship. I want to talk about where we're going. I want to talk about our connection. I want to talk about intimacy. I want to talk about all these different things that make our marriage what it is. I mean, I didn't walk down the aisle, and I know you didn't either, to be co-parents or to be roommates who co-parent together. But, just over the years, I have really helped men with this issue of roommates. And I'll tell you, I have one client, I won't name his name, started work with him. It was probably the beginning of spring of last year. His wife was just resentful, did not want much to do with him. They had a 2-year-old son, only child. And it got so bad by the time he got to me that they had inked divorce papers and moved out and put their house on the market. And then 6 months after he and I started working together, and he did the work, this guy did the work. Just because you sign up and we start, quote unquote, doing the work, that doesn't mean you're doing the work. But this guy was very coachable, did everything that he was set out to do, did everything I told him to do. And I was shocked, guys. I'll be very honest. I was like, man, I don't think that this relationship has a chance. I even told him that. I was like, I don't think this relationship really has a prayer, but I'll help you and I'll coach you and we'll just make you the best possible man that you can be. And you can go find somebody else. And he was up for that. And his wife came running back After he completely and totally changed the man he was, because that's really it, guys. It's the bottom. That is the bottom line. We have to change who we are. We have to be the man that we were meant to be. And in order to do that, we have to do things that are uncommon that most men aren't willing to do. And that means learn anything that we're good at, anything. For all my guys out there who do jiu-jitsu, how often do you practice? How often do you go to the dojo and roll? You don't do jiu-jitsu just because you love it. You do jiu-jitsu and you practice it and you learn it. It's the same thing here. For all my guys who are out there, whether you have a blue-collar job or you got a white-collar job, guaranteed you were trained on how to do your job, and that's probably why you do it so darn well. You know, my question to you is, how much training have we had on attracting your wife back to you? And if you're like, do I really need that? Well, most of us have no clue how to do it. And to be honest, it kind of feels like this. This is the way it was described to me from another client. Women and men are just wired different, and we are attracted by different things. And a man has to know how to attract his wife. Otherwise, quite frankly, he's not going to attract her. And a woman, quite frankly, has to do the same. But the thing is that if we're not doing this right, it's almost like if you go to a foreign country and you try to pay for something in US dollars and they're like, sorry, that currency doesn't work here. You need to go exchange your currency for what we take here because we don't receive that. It's no good to us here. And in a relationship and a marriage, the same rules apply. We have to be able to, we have to love each other, speak to each other in the way that the other person receives it, not in the way that we want to give it. I know that that's bad news for us, but it is what it is if we're going to be effective. So in this course, Roommates to Soulmates, that I'm going to be starting on January 14th, and I'm going to be teaching it until March 11th, I'm going to be hosting calls on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central. That's when it's going to start on January 14th, and it'll go to March 11th. I'm going to be hosting an information call on this on January 7th at 7 p.m. Central. So I'll have a link in the show notes for you guys. For this actual show, you can go to thedadedge.com/1418 for this show. I'm also going to have in there a link to sign up into RSVP. You guys can also go to thedadedge.com/soulmates. But in this course, what I'm going to be teaching you guys is how to attract your wife back to you with confidence, not with needy, desperate energy. I'm also going to be sharing how to create tension and intimacy the right way. So it feels like you're dating again. It feels good again, right? We're going to get that confidence back. We're going to get that guy back who feels good. And in order to do that, we have to do something uncommon. Uncommon men lead an uncommon life, meaning it's really, really common out there to be in roommate syndrome. Just look around at a lot of your friends and marriages and that kind of thing. And a lot of people are in this. And very few people do we know like have this relationship with their wives of like, dude, this relationship, this marriage is on fire. It's on fire. And a lot of us subscribe to the fact that if we've been married for any amount of time, well, that fire is just gone and it's not going to work. That is not true. That is not true. 12% of couples that get married can actually identify their relationship in that realm of fire, as it's really good, as it's amazing. I wouldn't trade this for the world. I'm in love with her. She's in love with me. The sex is great. The connection is great. The intimacy is great. But this is only 10 to 12% of couples that walk down the aisle. That's like buds. That's like Navy SEAL buds graduation rate, like 90% failure rate. Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. And I truly think that we were not made to have a mediocre or settled or roommate type of marriage. We were made to have a marriage on fire, passion, connection, intimacy, sex, even aligned parenting. It's all there. It's literally all there on the table for us. We just have to learn how to go do it. That's really all it is. It's no different than jiu-jitsu. This is just marriage jiu-jitsu. That's really all it is. We got to learn the rear naked choke, right? When it comes to jiu-jitsu, we've got to learn skills on attraction when it comes to our wives. So I'm really excited about this. I'm only taking 50 people, guys, to do this course. I'm only charging $500 for the entire course. So 8 weeks, $500. This is going to teach you how to attract your wife back with confidence. It's not just going to be me teaching the course. I'm going to have a couple of guest speakers as well. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for it. Go RSVP for the information call. If you guys go to thedadedge.com/1420 for this show or thedadedge.com/soulmates, you can RSVP for that information call. It's going to be epic, guys. It's absolutely going to be epic, and I cannot wait to see you there. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for all your support. Go out, continue to live legendary, and have a legendary holiday. Take care, guys.